Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, May 30th show. I'm dedicated to my listeners, providing you with the tools needed to make informed decisions on all matters when it affects your money. If you're listening to my show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast, you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com to discuss anything regarding your money or to talk with any of the guests that I have in studio today. And very excited. I don't have in studio because he's a little bit further than Seattle, but call in. We're on the phone with Larry Goins, founder of the Goins Group, an active real estate investor, author, and coach. And I'm excited for you to share, Larry, with my listeners how they can buy 10 to 20 HUD homes per month at a 40% discount, and even just a measly 30% without even leaving their office. So very excited to have you here with my listeners today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to our call today.
Perfect. So let me give my listeners a little background. Larry's an active real estate, as I said, investor, author, and coach, and travels the U.S. speaking and training audiences and conventions, expos, and real estate investment associations on his strategies for buying and selling 10 to 20 properties per month without ever leaving their home or office. Larry has written 2 books that can be found in bookstores everywhere: Getting Started in Real Estate, Day Trading, and HUD Homes Half Off. Between speaking engagements and mentoring investors, he oversees the daily operations of Investors Rehab, Inc., which is a real estate investment company that buys and sells 10 to 20 properties per month. As a husband, father, businessman, and real estate investor, Larry holds true to his core values and moral integrity. His personal and business motto is people and principles before profits. Love it. So let's go ahead and start out, Larry, with telling my listeners a little bit about you and your business.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm in Lake Wylie, South Carolina, as you can probably tell.
I can tell.
That's just across the state line from Charlotte, North Carolina. And I've actually bought and sold houses in 11 different states right from my office in Lake Wylie, South Carolina. And we do all of our business by phone, fax, FedEx, email, and internet. We never leave the office. We never look at the properties. And we typically have them sold in about 2 hours. And we do what I call real estate day trading. That's buying and selling a house the same day using the internet. We'll buy it at 10 o'clock and sell it at 10:30. A lot of people say, it takes 30, 60 days, whatever, to buy and sell a property. We own a property about 30 minutes.
Unbelievable. Now, I know, Larry, that you tried real estate several times before you became successful. Like anything in life, life is balanced, no exceptions. Every failure has a gain. Obviously, with your failures, you figured out what the gain was and how to succeed from it. So can you share what you did differently?
Well, yeah, I'll be glad to. I had tried real estate several times, and, real estate can be tricky. It can also be fearful to a lot of people. A lot of people say real estate is scary. Real estate's really not scary. It's just being uneducated. Once you get the education, then that takes the fear away, just like anything else. Just like listening to your show, you're providing a lot of information and content to get people more comfortable so they can go out there and make decisions and make money and go out and invest in properties. But I had tried real estate several times, and and like a lot of people, when I started out in real estate, I was working a full-time job, or a job, as I like to call it. And I was doing that, and it's very, very difficult. So I had to learn to use technology and to use technology to help me to be able to automate some of my business and to be able to help me to do this part-time, because a lot of people start a real estate business. They're working to try to get out of their full-time job.
Exactly.
Well, the problem is the way everybody else teaches you real estate is a second job. You didn't want the first one. Now you have 2.
Yeah.
So, right?
It makes total sense. And, Larry, technology has been around for a long time, and we use it in every aspect as far as our life. But the reality of it is it still is really scary to a lot of people. Absolutely it is. It really is. And I try to design all of my systems and processes and procedures, and I have one rule in mind. Okay.
If you can send and receive email, you can use every system that I teach. I try to keep it that simple.
Awesome. So I know you have 9 steps to your system. If you're listening right now and you're not driving, if you are driving, pull over on the side of the road and grab a piece of pen and paper. If you're sitting at home on your couch, step up, get a piece of paper and a pen. And if you're not in a position to do that, that's okay. Go back to the site and listen to this because I want you to write these down. We're going to walk through the 9 steps here. And let's go ahead and start out with step 1, analyze. So how do you analyze a deal?
Well, it's really simple. For me, I'm what's called a wholesaler, okay?
Okay.
I'm not going to fix and flip a property. I'm going to get it under contract at a deep discount, and then I'm going to turn around and pass that property along to somebody who is going to fix it up and flip it or fix it up and keep it as a rental.
Okay.
So as a wholesaler, I get paid for making a lot of offers and negotiating deep discounts on a property.
Yep.
And I have a little simple analyzer. It sits right on your desktop. Literally, you plug in 2 figures. What's the after repaired value? In other words, what's the property going to be worth once it's fixed up?
Yep.
And what are the amount of repairs? As soon as we enter those 2 items, boom, it tells you within a split second exactly how much we can pay for that property. That doesn't mean that's my first offer.
Sure.
That's the most I can pay for that property. And I try to make $10,000 to $15,000 on every property. Do I do that on everyone? No.
Of course not.
I've sold deals and made a couple thousand, but I've also sold deals and made $75,000 on one deal.
Yeah. So I told my listeners before we called you in that it definitely was going to be a special time with you because you were actually going to give a book away. Can you tell them what book, by just listening to the show, where do they need to go and what are they going to receive?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, my latest book is called HUD Homes Half Off. How to buy a HUD house at 50, 40, even 30% of list price. And I've done this in 11 different states. And in fact, you can get the book anywhere, but instead of paying for it, your listeners could simply go to www.freehudbook.com. And all they got to do is tell us where to send it, and we'll send them a free copy of it.
So freehudbook.com. If you didn't get that, call into the show, 1-855-400-1150, and I'll get you directly connected there. Larry, thank you so much for sharing that with my listeners. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
So let's go ahead and stop and to move into step 2, which is locate. So how do you find deals both off and online?
Well, there's a lot of different ways to do it. A lot of people are driving the streets. They see grass growing up in front of a house, whatever it is, old cars parked out there, or you can tell that a house is vacant. There's the MLS. There's Craigslist. You can search Craigslist ads. You can post your own Craigslist ads. There's tax liens, tax deeds. There's government auctions. There's auction.com, homesearch.com. The biggest source that we have right now, by far, is HUD Homes.
Yep.
HUD Homes are the simplest, fastest, easiest way I've seen to buy houses. They already have what's called a PCR, a property condition report. So you already have an idea as to how much repairs the property needs. Half of your work is already done. Is that great or what?
That's awesome. So let's get into step 3, which is negotiating, because I know that you are called the negotiator. Why is it so important, and what makes you different that you're actually in a position to negotiate?
Well, and that's a great point. Now, with HUD, there is no negotiating. You're dealing with the computer. You just submit your bids online.
Yes.
But when you're dealing with individuals or with realtors, one thing I've found out over the years, Tina, is people do business with people they like and trust. And when I'm making a very, very low offer, they might be asking $100,000 for their house. And if I'm offering $40,000, I've got to do it in a way that leaves the door open for them to call me back or me to call them back, where they're not yelling at me or hanging up on me.
Sure.
And that's what we've learned to do over the years is talk to people in a way that we're not putting down their property, we're not taking advantage of their situation.
Sure.
We're trying to create a win-win situation for both parties.
Makes total sense. And I have to say, Larry, your voice over the phone is pretty nice. It sounds like you're a very nice guy. So I would consider negotiating with you.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And let's go into step 4 is the contract. I know how important, and being in the mortgage arena, working through the contract with the realtors day in and day out, it's really important. So how do you structure your contracts different?
Well, that's one of the things that I do that's a little bit different. A lot of investors out here, and a lot of people teaching real estate investors, they will say when you're working with an individual, you want to have your own contract that's pro-buyer, that doesn't weigh toward the seller, it weighs toward the buyer. I'm totally different. I want to use the same contract that every realtor in the state uses. And the reason I do this is a couple of things. Number one, they're probably more familiar with it. And number two, if I'm ever on the phone or in person with a seller and they say, well, this sounds pretty good, let me just run it by my attorney.
Yep.
My standard answer is, that's not a problem. In fact, I encourage people to run it by their attorney. However, what you'll find is this is the exact same offer to purchase that every realtor in the state of uses on every purchase and sale.
Makes total sense. So we got 2 minutes left of the show. I want to get through these 9 steps. Let's get to step 5, inspecting the property. What is your advice there?
Well, what we do is we get what's called a CMA, comparative market analysis, done by a real estate agent, and that'll give us an idea as to what the house will sell for. Then we'll be able to use that to help sell the property to one of our fix and flip investors because they will know that they're actually going to make money on it.
Makes total sense. 6, do your due diligence. Different, what is it that you do?
Well, we used to get appraisals on the properties, okay? We don't do that anymore. We use the CMA, but we also will have a rehab contractor sometimes go out and look at the property and give us a write-up as to what they think it's going to take to fix the property up. Now we have some more tools to help us sell the property faster.
Got it. Step 7, we got 1 minute left to wrap up the show. You sell the property, you do it in 2 hours. What the heck?
Well, the key is it's much easier to find a house for a buyer than a buyer for a house. The key is build your buyer's list in advance so when you get a property under contract, you simply shoot out an email and you have people lined up to buy it.
Love it. Let's pull things together here. Step 8, automation.
Websites, database, autoresponders, analyzers, things like that to help you really run your business and put 92% of your business on autopilot.
Step 9, go ahead and take us out, Larry. Tell my listeners what step 9 is.
Step 9 is to duplicate. This is where you can eventually pull yourself out of the day-to-day operations of the business and have virtual assistants that you can hire for $2 or $3 per hour running your business for you, analyzing deals, making offers, submitting the contracts, and handling your closings for you.
Awesome. You heard it from the expert, Larry. You want to learn how to do 10 to 20 HUD homes per month, 50%, 40%, and even 30% discount on list price without ever leaving your home. You need to go to the website to get Larry's free book or call into the show. Larry, thank you so much. I'm so appreciative that you were able to join me on the phone and share your wealth of information with my listeners.
Awesome. It's been great. I hope they really got a lot out of it.
I'm sure they did. This is your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, signing off for the day. Everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for being here. I will be here same time, same place next weekend, right here at 11:50 a.m. at KKNW. Bye, everyone.